Hi, my name is Brittany, and I am the owner, founder of Edel Bottle Nutrition in Northwest Arkansas. I have built my business from the ground up. It is a private chef and nutrition business. And I have learned a lot through the business with real clients, real money, and real restructuring, and what actually matters in the early stages of business. So I created a business plan 2 years ago, and it's nothing like what I'm running right now. So I thought it would actually be funny to pull up my business plan that I created 2 years ago. We've got our Edible Bottle Nutrition business plans been prepared by me, March 2024. Here is my website. Okay, nice and clean. Table of contents, going to talk about what's going in each section. So the executive summary, it's going to tell someone what it is, what the business description is, and what it's for. So it talks a little bit about like who I am, um, how many people I'm going to employ at first. So this is literally like before I start anything, what the plan is. And this is actually like, this is why I don't really like it because this changes like so quickly. Okay, so it talks a little bit about me, the management team, and my experience, and what is my business mission. So, Edel Bottle Nutrition aims to bridge the gap between nutrition counseling and culinary nutrition application by providing convenient in home one on one cooking lessons to individuals that is tailored to their individual diet prescription and food preferences. The management team at Edel Bottle Nutrition will provide convenient telehealth nutrition counseling with the option of private cooking lessons to apply counseling knowledge. Edel Bottle Nutrition scope is weight management and obesity. That has completely changed. So we're not offering nutrition lessons. Nobody wants that. And that's kind of how my business started because someone was like, "Hey, would you like give me my kid private chef cooking lessons at home?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I thought that's what everybody wanted, but as I started to build my business and put that out, like that's what I was offering, nobody wanted that. People don't want to do work. They want to have a service. So we go in there and private chef for them. This isn't even true anymore, right? Because we're not offering that. And Edible Bottle Nutrition Scope is not weight management and obesity. It is general dietetics with culinary attached. And I thought in the beginning that everything had to be like super clean, like I'm doing this and I'm doing this. You don't have to have things. My niche is culinary, is being a chef as well as being a dietitian. That's my niche. No one else is really doing that. Instead of me even thinking like that I needed to know in the dietetics realm whether I need to be obesity or weight management. No, I take everybody. I just cook for them, right? So that's more of my niche. Still offer nutrition counseling. We offer telehealth via Simple Practice. That's the portal where we take clients. Recipe development, meal planning, meal preparation, one on one cooking lessons. We don't do that anymore. Anyway, okay, so let's keep going down. So, in this business summary, we're going to see who will promote our business. So, this is really just brainstorming who is going to promote us. So, right now, who promotes us? I do on my website, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, hopefully. I just started my YouTube channel, so it's super exciting because I'm building this course and it kind of like feeds into that. Um, so this is very new, but hopefully over time, we'll be able to promote my business through YouTube. So all of these places started, I thought it would be more clinical, but it's not actually because where the money is private chefing. That's literally where I get the majority of my income. That's why I am building this course because private chef is hot right now. That's what people want. Clients want it. And that kind of goes into more detail about the PPTS, knowing, okay, what is the product that people want? If you're selling it, but people don't want it, then there is no business to be made, right? There's no money to be made there. You have to know what people want. And so that's how I've honed my business from being more clinical and dietetics driven to more culinary driven, because that's what people want. And you have to listen to the market. You have to listen to your audience on what they want, which is why I say yes to everything in the beginning because you can find out what your people want and you can say yes to that. And then you can build your business based on what everybody wants. Okay, so business goals and objectives. Short term, develop website for Edible Bottle Nutrition. It's so funny how time goes by, right? It's been 2 years. And looking at that, I feel so proud of myself, like in this moment, because website is new. It just launched in the beginning of January. So it took 2 years of my business to actually launch after I like launched my LLC to be able, well, I had a website, but it was very like crappy. And it was very limiting. It was only showing like you could only book an appointment for a telehealth nutrition therapy appointment when the majority of my money is coming from private chef clients. So I had to rework my website to make sure that it was selling what I was offering, right? My website is absolutely beautiful. Go to it and check it out. It's www.edlebuttle.com and it is stunning. There's like a beautiful picture of me and my two chefs all of us, the three of us side by side, and it's beautiful. It offers literally everything that we are selling. So seeing this, it's kind of like a full circle moment because 2 years ago I still have to develop this and doing like my DNS, attaching those things. I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea what I was doing. I paid for like an extra email address for an entire year, okay, because I didn't know what I was doing. It was registered twice. Anyway, obtain 10 new customers by the end of fiscal year with 2 follow-up appointments. This is all of these things. They can be broad and vague because you don't really know what you're doing. And you really don't know where to kind of like put those numbers at. If it was obtain 100 new customers, is that too much? Is that too little? I did not have 100 new, I don't have 4 clients right now and I just made $13,000 this month. So it's not about how many customers. And this is a good piece of advice because I want you to hear it right now instead of in case I forget to mention it in later videos. But it is easier to sell a high ticket number, something for $2,000 once than it is to sell 200 people a $10 thing. Does that both equal 2,000? I don't know. Math is hard right now. It's easier to sell to one client for a big ticket sell than it is to have 20 $100 clients. I don't know if that math equals up either. I hope it does. But remember that as you are building your business because it's just easier. Think about having to sell someone is going to buy something that's expensive. Someone is going to buy something that is expensive. And it's harder to get more people to buy things, even if it's cheaper. So don't fall into that trap. Okay, you're going to talk about your marketing summary within your business plan. Again, this is just walking you through what a business plan looks like. I can have a template down for you at the bottom if that's helpful. Just some entities want to see it. If you are trying to get money for investors, they will want to see your business plan. If you are getting a checking account at the bank, some states, not in Arkansas, but some states will need a business plan. Either way, it's good to have a business flow. So that's what I am sharing with you. I'm going to have something linked at the bottom that I'm going to create for you for a business flow. Brainstorm some of these things, but have it fluid that you don't have to know everything right away because you're not going to need that. But it's good to think about like who are you selling to? What prices are you thinking about? Who is your target audience and where are you going to get that traffic? And then later down the road, how can you scale that? How can you put yourself into more of a management position, hire people on to do the hard work for you so you can focus on other things? You're always going to reach a ceiling where you and only your solo person cannot do any more. There's going to be a cap where you can't put in any more clients into your week to cook for them before you get burnt out and you hate your life. Okay, so this is why we're doing that. Okay. Pricing strategy, this is all wrong. I quoted myself like way too low. These prices, no. I'm selling a telehealth session for $249, not $149. I'm not offering meal plans with recipes for 3 days because people don't buy that. Personal in-client home cooking lessons, 90-minute sessions. I'm not offering that. We go in and we cook it for them. We prep their fridge and then we leave. They don't have to do any work and they pay for that. And we'll talk about pricing in more modules. Charging a lot more for that. So do not sell yourself short. In the beginning, it's easy to be like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. But people can catch, they can see that in you. They know that you're not confident in what you're selling. They can smell it on you. So just remember to be confident and don't come down, okay? Keep your price where it is. The people who want it will buy it. Free 30-minute consultations, I don't do that anymore. You don't offer anything for free unless it's, I don't know, pulling in a client. Like I'll give you one free a week for free or $250 off a weekly service if you book out for the month. So you always are making money. Promotional strategy, SWOT analysis. So you're talking about like the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats. So your threats, I deleted this before I got into this one because threats are like your competition. So who is your competition? Your competition is actually amazing to learn from. So go on their website, figure out what they are selling their stuff on their website. Like it is all on there. They list everything on there. How much they're charging, probably, how grouping services together. If they're selling like a la carte for one session, whether or not their discovery call when you talk to the client first before they book with you, whether or not that's charged or if that's free. Lots of different options. Weaknesses. That's funny. I put working from home may be seen as unprofessional by clients. No, honey, that is not unprofessional by clients. People don't care. Traveling to homes may be time consuming. Yes, but you can get contractors to do that instead of you. In-person appointments are not offered in an office setting. We don't do in-person. We do it strictly online, and that's okay. We're meeting people where they are. They don't have to come to you. You don't have to go to them, and it's super convenient. This is literally what everyone is doing. So these weaknesses that I thought were weaknesses in the beginning are not. So the strengths of my business that I'm the only local dietitian and chef offering nutrition counseling and private cooking lessons. Again, we don't offer the private cooking lessons anymore. I mean, if someone was like, "Hey, would you like do a cooking lesson?" Yes, absolutely, I would. But that's more for when your name gets out and about and they want some sort of specific service. That is not for like putting it on your website for private cooking lessons. I mean, it could be. Like I said, I've learned my market. Your market may be different in where you are. So just read your market and your audience for what they want and figure it out like that. Okay? And then services and financial plan. I had no idea about my financial plan. Like the first year I made, I don't know what it was. I think I made like $10,000 or something. I mean, $10,000 for a short, like a few extra, events here and there in a year. That's some nice money. And then the end of last year, I made 25K and I actually got that all in the back end because my fiance passed away in the beginning of the year and I was down and out for the majority of the year. And then around September, I ended up hiring contractors and they started working for me because I was having really bad anxiety. I talked about this in a previous video. I was having really bad anxiety and I couldn't work, but I wanted to be able to keep my business moving. So I ended up hiring contractors on so that I could continue to make money without being so client facing. And it worked out amazingly. And within that, I kind of like scaled indirectly. I wasn't planning on scaling, but that's just kind of how it happened, which is great. Revenue and sales for the first year of business. I don't know. You can never really project. You may be in a place where you get clients like all the time. Mine started off super slow because I still had a full-time job. So shooting way over. Shooting way over is not bad. It's just an idea we want to be at, but it's not an end all be all. And you may have no idea, which is why we're going to talk about the business flow and reflecting on what kind of questions you can ask yourself about where your business is going. I'm going to link a business flow down the bottom so that you can go through a few questions. It's a lot less like intense. I'm going to try to keep it to one page and it's just some ideas on reflecting what you're kind of interested in at this point in time. So let's talk about the PPTS. So you need to know what you're selling. So that product is what you offer and who it's for. So my product is nutrition counseling via telehealth, and my other product is private chef. I will tell you that the private chef side of the business is hot. Everyone wants it. It is where all my money is coming from. The nutrition, not so much. So I'm trying to find ways on how to kind of like sell that more. Right now, I don't offer insurance because my business is still kind of new, but I will be getting some interns in for the next couple of months, some dietetic interns. And so we're going to brainstorm some ways on how we can kind of improve that side of the business, which is exciting. So when we think about like our private chef side, which is what you are interested in building, what are you offering and who is it for? So if we can nail down the audience for my private chef business, I would say the people who we are selling to are people with money. Our services are not cheap. They are premium services. We are coming into people's homes to cook for them and their families. This is important. People will let us into their homes, give us the code to their houses. We will come in, we will stock their fridge, and then we will leave. So it's going to be people who have the money to spend on these premium services. Pricing. What makes the work sustainable? You need to figure out what pricing, and the best way to do this is if you feel good about the money you're making when you leave that day. So if you don't feel good for the amount of time and the effort you are putting into this home when you're going into private chef, then that's not enough money. You also want to make sure that you are safe because you're going into people's homes. So you need to charge enough so that they have enough money and they are, how do I say this? You don't want to be going into homes where you don't feel safe, and you need to make sure that you charge enough to be able to put yourself into that category of having a nice kitchen and equipment to work in. So traffic, how do people find you? So I've been very kind of live on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media. Now I'm on YouTube, which is super exciting. But you can also do it in other ways. So I live in a community where there is a lot of people. We are in like Walmart area where Walmart home office is, and people have money and they want these services. There's a lot of private chefs in our area who are providing these services to well-off individuals in our community. So I've also paid for, with the money that I've made so far, I'm reinvesting into the business. That's very important. You don't want to drain out your business accounts, right? To like pay yourself. Eventually, you want to do that. And of course, I take a little bit because that's another thing. You need to be able to pay yourself so that you don't burn out. There's no point putting all this time and effort into a business when you're not paying yourself. So always pay yourself with the money, some of the money that you're having. And then a lot of it goes back into the business in the beginning so that you can reinvest in those things that are important. So like marketing. So I'm paying every month for my ad for Edible Bottle Nutrition to be in a magazine within a well-off community. They do a private magazine for this specific neighborhood in our town. So that is a good way of doing it. However, it's still early and I'm yet to see clients kind of shuffle in from there. So I will determine at the end of the year whether or not that money, investing that money into that magazine was a good, payout for me. If we didn't hardly get any clients and it costed more money to be in the magazine for the year than the money that we got back, I'm not going to do it again next year, right? So we need to see, and it's okay. You can trial and error and see where you make money, where you don't. The places where you're not making money, you're going to scrap. The places where you are making money, you're going to go more in. Okay, let's talk about briefly the differences between sole proprietor, LLC, S Corp, and C Corp. So an LLC is going to protect your assets so that they don't get taken just in case your company goes bankrupt or you get sued for a lot of money. They can't come to your house and be like, I'm taking your car, I'm taking your house, I'm taking all of this stuff. They will come for the business. So you never want your, house and family and your life to be uprooted. So before we dive into LLC, C Corp, and S Corp. It's very important, and I want to be very clear about the lens that I'm teaching from. I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, and I'm not providing legal tax advice. What I'm sharing in the lesson is based on my own experience building and running a service based business, the decisions I've made along the way, and what I commonly see work for private chefs and similar businesses. And every business is different, and things like structure, taxes, and compliance can vary depending on your location and situation. Remember, we are talking about Arkansas. My goal here isn't to tell you what you should do, but to help you understand how to think about these decisions so you can move forward with more clarity and less overwhelm, because this is a lot of information, right? So use this information as context and education. Always confirm details with a licensed professional who can advise you based on your specific circumstances. So legally, my business is an LLC, but I'm taxed as a sole proprietor. And that works for both my chef and dietitian business together, and if I was only being a private chef entity, I would still be an LLC and be taxed as a sole proprietor. And based on guidance from my CPA, once the business consistently earns around $75,000 a year, that's when we'd be looking to switch from a sole proprietor to an S Corp status. So if you have enjoyed this video, I've had a really good time making it. If you've enjoyed it, please like or comment or subscribe. This is a brand new channel. I literally started it last week. So any new subscribers, I think I'm the only subscriber on this channel right now. So if you liked this and found it helpful, please consider subscribing or drop me a message and let me know what you learned. Also, if you're seeing this on YouTube and you want to join our school, it's skool.com/finding fuel. Join our free community. There's other like-minded chefs within the community. You can ask questions. I will respond happily. I'm really just wanting to make a nice community where we can all get together and help you build your private chef business from the ground up. I know how hard it was to build it from the ground up from my perspective, me building it. And so I want to support you.